Welcome to Hadouken Debt Podcast, episode number 88. If you need a budgeting software tool, then check out Mint. It's powered by Intuit. It's free, it's simple, safe, and secure. And what you do is you go on to mint.com, make an account, and just go from there. It's really easy to use. Been using them for years. And just, we want to get in the habit of giving every dollar that we bring in, all of our income, a purpose and a name. So that's what Dave Ramsey says, and it's just good to do that. Set boundaries and all that on your money. So check it out, mint.com. In today's episode, me and Barrett, we're going to talk about things that we never thought that we'd have in life. I like this discussion because it was a good reminder, because it was like a kind of a count your blessings thing. You know, it made me realize all the things that I do have, and because it's really easy to just focus on all the stuff that we don't have, and just that will kill contentment in a heartbeat. So good reminder for me. And then in our nerd talk, we talk about movies that we think they should remake, and then we get into movies that they're going to remake. They, as in Hollywood, I guess. But we're just a couple of guys giving our thumbs up and thumbs down on all these remakes and all that jazz. So, anyway, here we go. Episode number 88. Gonna talk about things we never thought we'd have in life, and then the movie remakes. Start the thing. Start it. Okay. The thing, you know, the thing. It's music. Alright, here you go.
So, can you catch Pokemon from your own house?
I caught, there was two. My very first one, I don't know if this is normal, but it gave me, a really popular one. Charmander?
Yeah.
They always give you the most popular one to start.
That's the one you start with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get to pick between Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander to start with.
Okay.
There's a hack online that I didn't find out until I'd already started, that you could also get Pikachu as your starting Pokemon.
Interesting.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter, I don't think.
No.
I mean, maybe it will later on, but it's so low powered when you start with them that you're going to catch other ones.
Yeah.
I started with Squirtle, and I've already caught a Bulbasaur.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like a level 55 Bulbasaur versus a level 10 Squirtle. So
see, I haven't gotten into the stats of any of them. I'm just looking around, catching them,
getting new ones and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I haven't used anything to level them up or anything, or evolve or whatever.
Yeah, so that's when you start collecting a lot of the same species to get the level up. I've already leveled up my Rattata and my Pidgey. I've got a Pidgey all the way up to a Pidgeot. So it goes Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot. So I don't need to fight any more Pidgeys or Rattatas, which are the two most common, it seems.
Okay.
So the way that every time you capture a Pokemon, you get 3 candies of that type, and you use those candies to upgrade them.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to have to catch more Charmanders to get to a Charizard eventually.
Oh, okay.
I think, unless you can level them up at gyms, but the gyms are so stupidly overpowered. I haven't even gotten to that point yet. So
I mean,
I've been having fun just capturing unique ones that I don't have yet. So
you know, it never fails. When this game came out, I knew people on Facebook, people who are just scared about everything were like, this is terrible. What if somebody drives up in a van and
people get knifed?
Yeah. I'm like, have you seen how many kids are outside walking now, seeing the light of day?
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting inside playing games.
It's amazing. I met Ryan and his kids at the dog park last night.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw a picture of that, yeah.
Yeah, so his son Jacob has his own phone, and he was playing, and I was playing on the other one, and I let my kids play.
Yeah.
This is my game, though, not theirs.
Oh, Caleb kept wanting to hold it, and so I let him, so he could see the road, and he caught one for me.
I let them do that. I let them each catch one, but even without the phone in their hands, they were still running all over the woods, and they were like, it was funny, there was a bird hopping through the parking lot at the dog park, and they're like, Pidgey! Pidgey! And they start running after it and stuff, and like the bird wasn't flying away for some reason, it was just hopping. I'm like, guys, that's not Pidgey, do not touch it. Yeah.
It's got lice.
But it's like, I never would have done that. I mean, I have the option available to say every single night, hey, you guys want to go to the park?
Yeah.
But because I wanted to get out and walk around, I'm like, I might as well take the kids with me.
Yeah, and like I was saying last week, how when I went to the library, I had my phone out, and nobody thought it was weird, and we struck up a conversation. So it's a good thing.
We were walking through Placerville, which is the town that I grew up in. We were downtown, walking down the street, and my dad asked me, this was Monday, I had just downloaded it that morning, because I was like 4 days late to the party, which is why all my Pokemon are so weak already. But we were walking down the street, and my dad asked me what time it was on my phone, and Christian's like, time to catch Pokemon! And this girl that was leaning up against a building laughed at that, and I turned to her and I said, you're playing too, aren't you?
Yep.
And she said, yeah, and said, go Team Mystic, or whatever team she was on.
Yeah.
So
my friend was like, on Facebook was like, I almost got hit by a car, and then I replied, but did you catch the Pokemon though? And then he was like, I wasn't even playing. I'm like,
Legally, I wasn't playing the car. I can't wait though. It's making me look forward to the day when driverless cars are around. Like when a car can just drive me around and I don't have to call an Uber to drive me around.
And I think I read somewhere that you get more experience when you go somewhere faster to catch them. So that's why kids are riding their bikes. I think that's what the way it was.
I don't know how it works, because I think once you get up to a certain speed, the rate that you encounter Pokemon seems to drop off.
Oh, okay.
So, like, when my mom was driving us to the airport on Tuesday, I encountered, like, none once we got on the freeway and non-stop driving, pretty much. And you're going too fast to use Pokestops or anything like that. But as soon as you stop at an intersection or turn or something, like immediately something would pop up.
Right.
So I think like once your GPS senses that you're going too fast for human speed, maybe it cuts it down. Thankfully.
Yeah.
So
it knows that could be considered like
dangerous.
Cheat or dangerous. Yeah.
And I think also if you're running, I don't know. This is what this is based off of. Probably nothing. I know I've driven more than 5 kilometers. So, but my eggs haven't leveled up. Are you incubating eggs at all?
No, I'm not even that far.
So you incubate eggs by walking, and it's like some are 2-kilometer eggs, 5-kilometer eggs, 10-kilometer eggs. But driving to your house, I'm like, I know I drove more than 5 kilometers, but it didn't level up an egg.
Huh.
So I wonder if it's got a step counter, or it can sense the jostling of vibrations of walking or something like that.
Yeah.
Because driving doesn't seem to do it. So it's not a game where you can cheat and just drive everywhere and catch Pokemon in the backseat of the car. You actually have to, it seems, to drive slowly through neighborhoods or walk or ride a bike or something like that. So, but yeah, the first day I was driving around my parents' neighborhood, and I pulled up in front of a house, and I'm like pointing my camera at their house trying to catch a Pokemon. And I'm like, this looks really weird.
Yeah.
I'm in front of somebody's house. They're on their front porch looking at me, and I'm pointing my cell phone camera straight at their face.
I wonder how many, because you know how like famous areas are like gyms or Pokestops or whatever.
The White House is a spot.
Oh, I didn't know that. I wonder how many people have tried to take pictures of the Pentagon, because you're not allowed to take pictures of the Pentagon. Like, oh no, sir, I'm just trying to get a...
I mean... You got to use common sense with it. Because Arlington Cemetery has requested that you not catch Pokemon.
in
Arlington Cemetery. Have some respect for the place. And other places are like, this is not for that. This is, the Holocaust Museum or a cemetery or a funeral home or something like that. Have some common sense about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And as it says in the loading screen, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah. Or you'll get eaten by that big monster or whatever that one is.
Yep. But other than that, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's the first real game that mixes real world with your game. And you can't, technically you could level up and cheat by not ever leaving your house if you want to spend real money.
Yeah.
But if you want to play it for free, you got to get out and walk.
Right. And that's more fun.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for them to make this game, but for Final Fantasy. And when you walk around, you encounter a fight.
This is the first of many. But Final Fantasy game.
That would be sweet.
Oh, man, that would be so sweet. Because that's pretty much all you do in Final Fantasy anyways, is walk around looking for encounters. Mm-hmm. And then it moves to a different screen when you actually fight people. Mm-hmm. So they could totally do that on the thing.
What? Why? Bye. They just want to say hi.
How many are you up to, though, for Pokemon? Do you know?
I think like 9 or 10. I haven't found very many. Because I just downloaded it yesterday. Yeah. So, or 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Bye.
At the...
What? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, this is why we like doing it when school's in. Hey, Caleb, can you go back upstairs, big boy?
It's been a long time since we've done an evening recording at your house.
And in the basement.
With kids home.
Bye, Caleb. Caleb, we're recording.
Probably since last winter.
Yeah.
I think.
I think you're right. So. Can you shut the door? Caleb, shut the door. Janie, can you shut the door? Thank you. Yeah. I've been with you guys all day today. Not enough. I want more time. Yeah. There's never enough time.
That's when you hear that from your kids after you're home all day with them and they're like, you never have any time for us. We never see you. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
My kids say that to me all the time. I'm like, are you kidding me? You have no idea.
Right.
What a dad who has a commute and works 45, 50 hours a week would look like.
Have you been watching that guy Awaken with JP?
Yeah.
The last one I saw was the coconut oil one.
Essential oils?
No, it was coconut oil.
The coconut oil?
Yeah. And,
all the uses for coconut oil or something?
It's like don't put vegetable oil in your Italian dressing, for your salad. Mm-hmm. Use coconut oil because everything else is battery acid. And then he was like, and when you shave... don't use shaving cream, put on coconut oil because it's 5 times more expensive. And when you cut yourself, it's already antibacterial. So it's already doing its job.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
That guy. For those of you who don't know, he's on Facebook. He's got a page, Awaken with JP or something like that. JP Sears is his name. He's got a YouTube channel. But he's a spoof on naturalists and vegans
and entrepreneurs,
spiritualists. Yeah, his latest one was how to be a life coach or something like that video. But he's hilarious. I was watching some the other day. Sarah was in the room, and there's like, what was it? Just an essential oils one that was like, instead of drinking a cheap chamomile tea, rub this bottle of $100 chamomile oil on your heels. Stuff like that. It's just like, oh my gosh, that is so brilliant. Or he's got another one that's like, what if meat eaters talked the way that vegans talk?
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a guy who's got a steak in front of him watching somebody eat a salad, and he's like, you are making me so sick right now.
Yeah.
I've completely lost my appetite pushing the meat away. Or he's eating a bratwurst or something like that, and the other girl's eating a cucumber, and he's like, "This is a cucumber substitute that tastes, has the look and feel of a cucumber, but it's made from meat.
Yeah.
So I know that it's better for me."
He's so awesome.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Nice.
So, getting into our main topic.
Okay.
Things you never thought you'd have in life. I never thought I'd have kids. Like, I just never imagined that. Like, I guess I imagined it, but I just never thought it'd happen.
Yeah.
That
was actually the first thing that came to my mind.
Really?
Too,
yeah.
Which is funny, since we're both very dedicated to our families and, would do anything for our kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, growing up, I never thought about... I knew I'd have kids eventually, but I never, thought, I'm going to do this with my son someday.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Yeah. I can't remember any moment that I was like, I can't wait to have kids.
Right.
It was always just, assumed. I'm going to have kids someday. And
yeah.
That'll be the dad time of my life.
Yeah. I'm just always like, God, I'm so ill-equipped. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's...
Like, my wife, when she was in high school, actually wrote a paper on what she wanted to be when she grew up, and what she wrote it on was being a mother as the thing at all for him. I was taking care of his sister so that Mom and Christian could, do what they needed to do.
Right.
But yeah, I remember he was about 14 months old, I think. I think that was that Easter. Maybe it was 2 months old. But he got really sick and I had to stay home with him. And I remember that being the moment that I really connected with him personally.
What'd he have? Or
I think he just had an ear infection or something like that. So. Yeah, that's weird that we both came up with that as our first one.
Because I was like, well, it's bad. Well, if you know my mom, I know what not to do with my kids because I just know, what not to do. Yeah. So I just always thought that's why I was saying I'm so ill-equipped. Because I didn't learn the right things, I guess. But learning as I go, I guess.
Yeah. It's done pretty well for you so far.
Yeah, it has. So. And because when we first had Chloe, I was like, man, I want 10 of these. And after her, it's just like, this is gonna be a lot of work. But now my joke is, I do got 10.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That go home each night, which is even better.
And I don't have to feed them.
Yeah. After the second one, it went from being, I want more kids to, I look forward to having lots of grandkids someday that I can send home when I'm done with them. Be the grumpy grandpa.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm done. Go home.
Spoiled you enough. Get out. Yeah. I never thought I'd have a house either.
Really?
It's weird. I just never... I think because when I was little, I thought owning a house was just such a... Luxury, super thing that you had to be so... I don't know. Just high class to get. But apparently not in 2008.
That one I differ.
Yeah.
With you on. I always knew that I'd have a house. I always imagined I'd have more land. So maybe that's one thing I didn't know I'd have today. Is only a half an acre. I always thought that I'd have 5 or 10 or more. So because for me growing up, knowing that owning a house was the sign of being financially stable, having property was always going to be a good investment kind of a thing. That's always something I aspired to. I even remember with my best friend growing up, we used to plan to own an island.
Really?
Yeah, and we had the actual island. I don't remember what it was called now, but we had the actual island picked out south of India in the Madagascar Sea, I think, or something like that.
Gosh.
We had the island picked out, and we were going to stock it with all of these endangered species and stuff and make it a destination zoo kind of a thing.
Like the Galapagos Islands or something?
Like just a tourist destination to go and see the animals you never could see anywhere else kind of thing.
Didn't they make a movie about that, An Island with Dinosaurs?
They did, yeah. And then that taught us it probably wouldn't be a good idea. And it was going to cost a lot more money than we imagined as 8 and 10-year-olds. So.
I can't imagine how much owning an island.
Or just owning a zoo.
Yeah.
The operating expense of feeding animals would be, unless you let them eat each other.
Yeah.
But
just
then
like
it's
nature.
Expensive for replacement. So.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, house, land, that was always in my plan.
I thought I was always going to have an apartment or maybe a townhouse, like not a house. I don't know why.
I never thought I'd have an apartment.
Yeah.
But I did that for 2 years. 4 years.
We lived in a really awesome apartment in Waldorf when we first got married. Mm-hmm. And then the second apartment was a basement apartment in Prince Frederick, and I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. But it was...
Saw the good and the bad.
Yeah. But the good thing about that basement apartment was only $1,100 a month for everything. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow.
Nice.
Saved up good money.
Mm-hmm. I've thought about this one before, and I'm sure my mom will correct me on this, but I don't remember growing up thinking I was going to work for myself. Because I've tried to. You know, you read those things like, I was born to be an entrepreneur and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like searching my brain, and I'm like, other than being really stubborn and not wanting to do anything the way that it was supposed to be done, I don't really remember aspiring to ever have to work for myself. I know that as growing up, I didn't want to work at all.
Yeah, me
So
either.
I wanted that kind of freedom, financial freedom to not have to work.
Uh-huh.
But it was always my brother that was the one that was out starting businesses. I didn't get a job till after my brother, who's 2 years younger than me, got his first job.
What was he doing?
He worked at a movie theater.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Actually, he worked at a pizza's. I don't remember which one he worked at first. He worked at a pizza place and a movie theater. And my first job I got 3 months before I enlisted in the Marine Corps. Because from the time I was 14 on, I knew that I wanted to be a Marine when I grew up. So I didn't really think about jobs at all. I'm just like, the Marines will take care of me. So I got my first job at Hollywood Video 3 months before I went in. Mm-hmm. So 18 years old, I got my first job. And he was 16 and had, or 15, I think, when he got his first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the life that I live now, working for myself, working a desk job, never really expected that one either. So
still as stubborn as ever. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, I absolutely know that's the reason I work for myself.
That's rule number 2.
Everyone else would suck as a boss.
Yeah,
I'm at least barely tolerable.
Yeah,
so
I have to live with myself.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I know I always wanted to own a restaurant. But I've never taken any steps into that direction.
Do you ever think you'd run a daycare?
No, I never thought I'd run a daycare. I didn't even put that.
Well,
I never thought I'd...
A year ago, you never thought you'd be running a daycare.
Do you all know the story of how we came up with running a daycare? We watched Daddy Daycare. I'd never seen that movie. It was like a 10-year-old movie.
I remember. You'd never seen it?
No, because I thought it was going to be stupid.
It was stupid.
It was stupidly awesome.
It was inspiringly stupid. Daddy Day Camp was stupid.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Fred Savage was the director of that. And I'm like, go back to Wonder Years.
Oh, man. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when you posted that on Facebook. You're like, Daddy Daycare! I think we had talked about it on an episode or something leading up to it that caused you to go watch it. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, and you turned it into something. And I'm like, well, that's one way to do it. You also watched Chef, but I didn't see you starting a food truck, even though we talked about that too.
That's still a dream of mine.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, my friend John, who supports us on Patreon, he was like, he's got an idea for a food truck, like with eggs. Don't steal his idea, anybody. But we were talking about like he would go to New York and his food truck would be like New York New York City eggs.
Nice. Mine would be a grilled cheese food truck. I would just have all sorts of different varieties of grilled cheese. Speaking of, Ryan's wife Jenny made Dunkin' Donuts grilled cheeses the other night.
Oh my gosh, that sounds disgusting yet wonderful.
Intriguing.
Yeah. I want to know more.
I do want to know more. So, but stuff like that on a food truck. But not just wild and crazy stuff like that either, but just like good bread, interesting cheeses, cool meats, because I love like a patty melt, a hamburger, and a grilled cheese is like my favorite way to eat it. I'd eat a patty melt over a hamburger any day. So I love a crusty bread, grilled patty in between.
I'm not a fan of toasted.
Oh, really?
I take that back. My steak and cheeses, I don't mind toasted, but anything else, I don't like toasted.
Yep, that's what I'd do. Grilled cheese.
Yeah. Have you ever had mac and cheese pizza?
No.
Okay. I'm only asking because we've had mac and cheese.
We got 4 Pokemon.
My daughter just got 4 Pokemon.
Nice. Must have taken a dog for the walk.
Yeah, they did.
I'll have to walk through your neighborhood then.
What was I saying? Oh,
mac and cheese pizza.
4 Pokemon.
You got 4 Pokemon?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How's that battery life? Now, on the back of mac and cheese, on the back of mac and cheese box, there's like a recipe for mac and cheese pizza. I'm like,
really? Kraft box or Annie's box?
Yeah, Kraft.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
At Grill number 13 in Waldorf, they've got fried macaroni and cheese balls.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. So you saying macaroni and cheese, and then you said pizza, I was thinking macaroni and cheese grilled cheese would be good. Good old arteries.
Yes.
You can't kill me.
Okay.
It's not pee-pee. You live in AC and you go pee-pee.
You're going to ruin the rating on our podcast.
I know. What was I going to say? I can't remember now. Darn it. Well, yeah. What did I? Oh, this is going to sound serious. Well, it kind of is. I never thought I'd have a relationship with my brother. And me and him talk more now than we did. Because I was 6, he was 16 when he moved out of the house. Wow. So,
it's we never... gap.
Yeah. And he babysat me on the weekends when he was like 18 and had his own place, but we didn't have a relationship. It was just kind of not there. But now we do. So
cool.
Yeah. Any others for you?
I don't know that it's really something I never thought I'd have, but I never thought I'd enjoy the gym as much as I do. But I talk about that every episode, so I wasn't really going to go into that.
That's the first part of our podcast, Barrett's Corner.
Yeah. So what's going on with your training right now?
What's your eating regimen?
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up, I did a year of soccer, maybe 2.5 or 3 seasons of baseball. All stopped before it ever became competitive. Golfed, because my dad loved golf. Did snowboarding, but never, like, actively sought it out. Like, if my brother and my dad would have gone 2 days in a row, or every single weekend, I would have gone, like, 2 weekends a month kind of a thing. The only thing I ever took seriously was martial arts. And I did that as much as I could. Anytime my parents could afford it, I wanted to do that. But I never really saw that as fitness as much as mastering a discipline kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The whole cultural part of it and just the art part of it and the ability to defend myself kind of thing.
Right.
But I never like thought, oh, well, if I lift weights, then I'll get stronger as a martial artist, or, you know, if I go out and jog, I'll become more agile kind of thing. So
take, Bruce Lee took fencing for his footwork.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So I never approached it that way. And even though I wanted to be a Marine from the time I was 14 on, I never thought, how could I be a stronger Marine? I kind of always just figured, oh, they'll take care of that.
It's the Marines. They're all strong. Yeah.
So I did stuff to try, and I had minimum levels that I had to meet to get in, but I could have done a lot more.
Right.
So I always loved food too much. And now I've figured out a way to blend the two of them together. So
you can kind of eat whatever you want.
I can enjoy the food and be stronger.
There's no... Well, I guess you do count calories, right? Or not really? Okay.
Yeah, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's more macros, but if you do your macros right, your calories should line up.
That's right,
correctly anyways.
That's right.
So, but to be at the point where I'm at now, where I'm like purposefully dedicating the next 8 or 10 years of my life to a sport, I'm like, I never thought I would be a world-class athlete in anything, or world-class anything.
Yeah.
So much less athletic.
A world-class pain in the... No, just kidding.
Mule.
No,
I could do that. I knew I was that.
No.
So, cool.
Yeah. You want to move into our nerd talk?
Sure, let's do it.
For some reason, our nerd talks have all been about movies lately, but I don't know. It's just kind of what it is. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
I've got one for a future one that's not a movie. I'll text it to you later.
Sure. So. What movies should they remake, and who would play in them? If you can't think of who would play in them, just say, what movies should they remake?
What movies have they not yet remade that they could remake?
Yes.
Since they've pretty much remade everything.
They remade everything. Stupid Total Recall. That movie was terrible.
Dredd was good, though.
I didn't see Dredd.
Dredd was really good.
Okay.
I'm glad they remade Dredd.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's dangerous when you get into remaking territory, but some of them can turn out really cool.
Okay.
So, they remade Daredevil, and it turned out amazing. So,
what?
The TV show.
Oh, the TV show. Yeah.
That's a remake.
Okay,
so.
That's true.
And I've heard, I haven't seen it yet. I won't see it in the theater probably, but I've also heard that the new Ghostbusters movie is fantastic.
I heard that too.
So
yeah, because me and John were talking about
haters,
that. Yeah,
is what I heard basically.
Well, because Dan Aykroyd was like, he's really proud of the movie. Mm-hmm. So
sweet. I'm glad it's done well. So
yeah,
I didn't want it to bomb and then everybody be justified. See, women aren't funny. So I'm glad they showed them.
I mean, what happened in '84 when Ghostbusters came out? I wonder if people were like, this movie looks really dumb. Catching ghosts in New York?
I don't think it was that weird. I mean, by the time I was a kid, there was a cartoon, so it must have struck a chord with somebody. Mm-hmm. So, of course, there was also an Attack of the Killer Tomatoes cartoon too. So the bar wasn't that high.
I remember. Yeah. So. I think they should remake a real life Aladdin movie, kind of like how they did Jungle Book and they're doing Beauty and the Beast. Mm. That would be sweet. With Disney's,
they'd be accused of whitewashing.
Would they?
I know they would. They got away with it with Jungle Book because it was mostly animals and there was really only one Indian actor in it. But are you telling me they're going to staff the entire cast of Aladdin with Arabic actors?
Well,
they didn't even staff the entire voice cast of Jungle Book with Indian voices. It was all popular voices.
Yeah.
And an Indian actor for the one human in the movie.
See, I never thought Aladdin looked Indian though, like Middle Eastern. He just kind of looked like
Arabia.
I know, but he looked like a white guy with a little.
Well, of course he did.
Yeah.
Because they didn't draw Pocahontas like she should have looked. They didn't draw Jasmine like she would have looked. So they would totally whitewash. They've been able to do live action movies for all the other ones because they all take place in France and England.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I would think the CGI that Disney can do would be awesome in Aladdin,
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Arabian Nights, like the full book, turned into a movie. That'd be pretty cool. Or a series of movies, or maybe a TV show like they did with Once Upon a Time or something like that.
My old coworker said they screwed that show up a lot.
Oh, did they?
Or not screw up, but they just changed so many things. Like, I don't know. Like, people were related, or somebody was really the bad guy, and the bad guy you thought was bad was really good. And pregnant pause. You didn't stop.
My wife has watched it. I never paid any attention to it, so I've been in the room when it's been on, but never really cared for it. So but yeah, I'd love to see Aladdin. I was excited. I liked Jungle Book. Did you see that one in the theater?
That was awesome.
That was really good. I think they're remaking Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, they are,
from that list you sent me.
Yep.
So, which is funny. Was I watching? I don't know if the kids were watching Beauty and the Beast or it was just on Pandora. But I'm like, wait a minute. This movie takes place in France, and they only have one voice in the entire cast. That's French.
Which one was that one?
Lumiere, the candlestick.
Oh.
It's like Belle should have a French accent.
Yeah.
And they've got a butler, Cogsworth, and all of the rest of the staff have British accents. I'm like, is there some kind of like British servitude thing going on in this castle? So
they should remake Star Wars Episode 4. Oh wait, they did. Episode 7. Whee! No.
Did you pick this topic specifically so you could make that joke?
No, I did not. Although that is what I wrote down.
Why would they remake Star Wars Episode 4? That was the good one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making a joke.
Okay.
Episode 7, it was basically the same thing. I get it. Everyone. They were rebooting the franchise.
Hey, if they went with a completely original story, they would have had Episode 1, and then people would have revolted.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you're right. On that list, I don't know if I would... I don't think they should make this movie, but it was on that list that I sent you, Ace Ventura.
I saw that. It's like the first movie on there. I'm like, who in the world...
Who would play that part?
Could do Ace Ventura as good as Jim Carrey?
I know. I can't think of anybody.
I can't either. It's probably somebody from Mad TV or Saturday Night Live or something like that.
Yeah.
That they give it to. Andy Samberg
as
Ace Ventura. Be a different kind of Ace Ventura, but it wouldn't be.
Andy Samberg kind of annoys me, but not. I don't know.
He's annoyed me too. Like when he was on SNL, but the cast that he has around him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's just makes that show. So
I like him
funny.
in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should remake Big Trouble in Little China, and they could use Chris Pratt as main character.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Look-alike stand-in.
Yeah.
Did I see they were remaking Big Trouble in Little China and Escape?
Yes.
From LA?
Yeah.
Escape from New York?
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder if they're going to cross over at all.
Is that from the same universe? Or
no, I think aren't they both John Carpenter?
I think so. We'll have to Wikipedia that.
This is not TV Topic Tuesday.
I know. Sorry, we're not trying to take your
Movie
thing, guys.
Moments Monday.
Yeah.
So, we do not have the photographic memory that John Kempson has.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of that every time I listen to that show.
Yeah.
Lord, that guy can remember some stuff.
Yeah. We love you, John.
I saw that they're going to remake Blade. I thought that was pretty interesting.
And he's a white guy this time? This is crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Nah. Who would they get to play that? Same guy, Wesley Snipes.
Kevin Hart.
Oh my god, no, he's too goofy.
I have no idea, but I'd go for a remake of Blade.
I like Blade, yeah.
I'm willing to give even Iron Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'd be willing to give any comic book movie a reboot around the 10-year mark of it.
Yeah.
Earlier than that, maybe not. I mean, it didn't go over well with Spider-Man being rebooted 3 times in 10 years.
In like 1 year. No.
But by the time some of these get there, and Blade, the first Blade came out in like 1998 or 99 or something, so it's due for a reboot. And it's a cool concept. I mean, vampire hunters, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I want to see a reboot of it.
They are gonna do Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is gonna be cool. It's what's her name? That's gonna be Rita.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those pictures have been looking pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
They're redoing Ghost in the Shell. Well, making a live action.
Yeah.
And everybody's so mad that it's Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. She's not even Asian.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's not a robot either, but what else? What can you do?
It's called acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but it's called acting.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get bent out of shape when an Irishman plays a Scotsman, or, when a Jamaican plays a Nigerian, or something like that. It's like,
why? Yeah.
At some point, we have to get bent out of shape about that too. That's a Frenchman, and it's being played by an Englishman. Or how many Americans do we have that are played by Australians all the time?
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. Like, if it can be cast by an Asian or something like that, then maybe we should go that way. But it's like, just because it was that way in the comics or it was that way in something else, let's give it a chance to be a little bit different.
Right.
So, I mean, don't paint her face yellow or something stupid like that and say, oh, she's Asian. They're not trying to say she's Asian. They're just taking a character from an Asian thing and bringing it over to U.S. as a U.S. character.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. Soapbox.
Yes. They should... on that list was Memento.
Yeah.
Memento. Like, what are they going to do this time? Play the normal way? Like, regular movie? Just from the beginning to the end?
Unless you'd have to change everything about the movie to redo it. I mean, maybe do another movie with a character with short-term memory loss. Who tattoos himself to remember things. Maybe, but it's like, I already know how it ends.
And then at the end, which is the beginning, he's like throwing his phone down because he messed up on his Pokemon Go and he didn't level it up correctly or something.
Oh, so you want to modernize it, is what you're saying. When instead of tattoos and Polaroids, he uses Evernote on his phone
and
to take
Instagram
pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And the twist at the end of it is he deletes the Evernote note that ties it all together so that he can start over again.
It gives him purpose.
Evernote's like, are you sure you want to delete? And he's like, yes. And the movie ends.
Yeah. Like, what? No.
That'd be like, let's redo The Sixth Sense. It's like, how? You can't. Some of those movies aren't even watchable a second time. They're not. You can't reboot them.
Right. You just know. Naked Gun. That'd be a good one. But I don't know who would play Leslie Nielsen's character. He just did it so well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think we've talked about that with reboots. It's so hard to capture the magic from the original one that if you try too hard, you're going to end up screwing it up.
Right.
So the best way to do it is to make it your own kind of a thing.
And then, but even doing that, people will get mad.
Yeah.
So it's either way.
So, like, rebooting Ace Ventura or Naked Gun or Police Academy or something like that, tell something original in the setting or, an original take on the script or something, but don't try and say, remember that character from 30 years ago? This is the exact same guy.
Yeah.
So, I think, so for the example, 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street were pretty popular movies, did pretty well. But it wasn't like they brought in a character and tried to pretend that it was Johnny Depp.
Right.
They had a character who was undercover at high school, but they're not like saying, grow your hair to look exactly like Johnny Depp and let's get a look-alike.
Right.
That's kind of part of the problem of casting Chris Pratt as everything now.
Yes.
Is it's like, yeah, Chris Pratt does look like a young Harrison Ford and would make a good Indiana Jones. But could you do it and still let him be bring
his own
Chris Pratt's character to it and not just say, whoa, that's not how Harrison would have done it.
Right. Yeah.
Reshoot.
Yeah.
Watch this part. See this? Where he says it exactly like that? Okay, try that.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to do it exactly the way that they did it, don't reboot
There's
it.
no reboot. Yeah, it's the same movie. Yeah. It's just so crazy how a movie can even be made in the first place. Like, just like...
Oh, the millions of people that come together for it?
Yeah. And the time and the scheduling and just attitudes and personalities. I'm like, how?
Money,
yeah.
I mean, Milton Friedman talked about that in the 70s or 60s or something with when he read the essay I Pencil. It was like no government could bring all the components of this pencil together, but the free market and each of these parts working for their own good and their own profit are able to bring it together.
Right.
So if one person was to sit down and say, okay, we're going to make a movie and I need to know how every single piece works together to go into this movie, it wouldn't work. But a director knows how to direct and hires producers to do producing, who hire CGI teams and stunt doubles and all that stuff. And then it somehow all comes together and everybody profits from it. Yeah. So it's beautiful.
Yeah. Even the viewer profits because if they enjoy the movie. Yep.
What else was on that list? Would you want to see Rocky or Rambo get rebooted without Sylvester Stallone? Or like they've got some Jean-Claude Van Damme movies on here without Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I wouldn't mind.
They've got Big Trouble in Little China without... was that the one that was Kurt Russell?
What?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
So it was Showdown in Little Tokyo then? That was...
I don't know who that was.
That was Dolph Lundgren.
Okay.
Was in the other one. And I always get the two confused because Big Trouble in Little China versus Showdown in Little Tokyo or something like that. It's like, why would you name two movies almost exactly alike?
But it's China and Japan,
well, I know that, but it's like Little China versus... It's not Showdown in Little Tokyo. Is it just Little Showdown in Big Tokyo?
No, they wouldn't do it that.
So...
Yeah.
But any of those movies where the action star himself was like the key part of that movie. Like Rocky is so much of Sylvester Stallone's.
I think with Sylvester Stallone, he is Rocky, but with Jean-Claude Van Damme, he played different people.
Military person.
Yeah, who does this kick. You know, he does that famous kick.
Yeah, because they said Cliffhanger would get rebooted.
Yeah.
But that one wasn't so centrally Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
You could redo that with anybody.
You could redo Demolition Man.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have to be him.
Yeah.
So. But I think, Rocky, I don't think I could.
I think the way that they've rebooted it this way, by bringing him in and passing the baton through to Michael B. Jordan for the movie Creed, was done really well.
I didn't see
Whereas
that.
Whereas if you haven't seen Creed yet, it's really good.
Yeah.
Whereas if they would have just rebooted it and said, look, this is the new generation's Rocky, and it's Apollo Creed's son, and had no tie-in, I don't know that it would have done so well. So I felt Sylvester Stallone should have won an Oscar for that movie. He did that well. So.
Did you see the clip of in the first Rocky movie when he's running up the steps and there's no music?
Yeah.
He's like, we did it. Yeah.
So good.
I'm good. I did it. It's like,
almost there.
Wow.
Oh, keep going. Keep going. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Dolph Lundgren, I would like them to see them do a He-Man reboot. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. They did Conan with Jason Momoa was in that one, right?
Yes.
The guy that's going to play What's his name? Aqualad. No.
Aquaman?
Aquaman. Aqualad's his sidekick.
Oh. You're eating sushi, Aquaman. Ah! You see that on Geeks Are Sexy?
Those aren't fish. Those aren't chicken fingers. They're fish sticks. Nice.
The Conan reboot was kind of crappy, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't... There was no struggle.
I think it was our last movie that I said we need to see more fantasy. Well, I said fantasy TV shows.
Yeah.
But then I think back to all the fantasy movies that they've made, like, what is it, Gods and Pharaohs or something like that?
Oh, yeah, Gods and Kings or something?
Gods and Kings.
Yeah.
And they had the Conan reboot, and they've done Scorpion King, and
yeah,
they're going to reboot The Mummy.
The Scorpion King was good.
Was it?
Yeah, did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's good.
I couldn't stand the CGI'd Scorpion King and The Mummy too.
That one,
so bad.
just put that out of your brain.
Let's reboot that. The Mummy was great.
The Mummy was awesome.
The Mummy was a fantastic movie.
More so because of Rachel Weisz.
Let's not reboot the whole Mummy 2. Let's just reshoot it with modern day CGI of The Rock as the Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King was a good movie though, because it was just he wasn't a bad guy. He was just he was a good guy.
I did see that one. The one I didn't see was when Jet Li.
The Dragon Mummy or something. It was weird. I don't know. I just said dragon because he's in every movie that has dragon.
Yeah, it was like the Dragon Emperor.
Yes, that's what it was. Like yes.
I didn't see that one, so I did see them. Now that you say he wasn't a scorpion, I did see that one. Mm-hmm. So, weren't they Arcadians or something like that? They were like the last two people of their entire tribe. Something.
Yeah.
So.
I would like to see Mortal Kombat rebooted.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And Street Fighter.
Yeah. I do like the movie though.
Street Fighter.
It's so bad. It's just so good. It's awesome.
Sure, if you say so.
I have it.
I'll watch him rebooted though.
Yeah.
Along those lines, the other one that was in here was Dungeons and Dragons.
I never saw that one.
It'd be cool to see that rebooted.
Yeah.
Where did I hear? It was another podcast I think I was listening to, and they said that the way to reboot Dungeons and Dragons would be to have it be an actual D&D game in a basement, and then as the narrator is discussing a scene, it cuts to real Game of Thrones quality level combat.
Wow.
And then cuts back to them at the table, continuing on with that.
And then
instead of the entire thing is them as actors.
Already fantasy.
Already in that. Or the way that most of those movies turn out. Sitting around a table talking about it, and then it cuts to the forest where like 10 people are dressed up in cosplay running through the woods. So
yeah.
So that's how I'd do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any others?
No, I'm pretty sure if we haven't said it, they'll still reboot it. So,
I mean, Ben Affleck's doing the Batman.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoyed him as Batman.
Yeah, I consider that already rebooted, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Batman versus Superman, he did such a good job.
Yeah.
So.
And the DVD.
I mean, when I saw the Batman on here that they were going to reboot it, I'm like, again? They just did. Oh, no, they're just talking about Ben Affleck. Yeah. I'm like, they just rebooted it this summer or this spring.
The Batman BVS 3-hour long uncut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh.
I will be watching the 3-hour version. So this is funny. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is on the list. And the first sentence says, now here's a reboot we can get behind. Because that movie sucks so bad.
I thought it was entertaining.
So bad. I didn't realize until I thought about it and saw a note about it, but that was Sean Connery's last movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was. It hit him hard.
He's like, done.
Man, this is Hollywood. I'm out.
It's like, this is how far I've fallen. Yeah. I'm done.
I used to be James freaking Bond. Now I'm doing this.
Yeah, so reboot that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So don't forget we're on patreon.com/HadoukenDebt. And toss us a couple bucks, keep the show rolling. Where can people find you, Barrett?
I'm on Instagram at CP_EH.
And I am on Twitter at Charchangs, and I'm on Facebook, and our website is hadoukendet.com.
See you next week.
Later.